you break into a sweat with even the thought of having company? I'm here to help. After trying just a few of my hosting tips, you'll be more than ready to say, come on over. We're out here now with a sewer line. Who decided to put it in the middle of the yard? We're not sure. But here it is, and so here we want to cover it. Now, what's important about this sewer line is that we have to get to it. So I can't just put a shrub here and cover it up, or put something over here that's going to make it harder to get into it. It has this cap, which just twists on and off. And then the homeowners already had this cool looking rock, and you can see that it's empty on the inside. So it can go right down over the sewer line, and then when they need to get to it, they just pick it up. But that's not good enough for me.
I want some perfection.
I want to be able to hide this a little bit better with plants and rocks. So I did dig a hole a little closer than I maybe should have, but we're gonna see how this works out right here for another lantana. So I'm just gonna give it a little bit of a fertilizer to get it started. And same situation with the roots. They look actually pretty darn good. I may not have dug that deep enough. Let's see. We'll see. No, it's okay. I'm pushing it down in there. I'm going to give it a nice dirt cover, but I am going to end up using this egg rock around it. So I really want to get as much dirt down in there as I possibly can. And I'm going to give it a little drink here shortly before I put the rock down. And I didn't mention this before, but even if it's rained, even if it's going to rain tomorrow, the next day, you still water in your plants with a very heavy drink the very moment you plant them.
Drink the drink.
But I don't want the drink.
He doesn't want the drink.
Because we've already disrupted them in their plant cans, and so we want to make sure that we give them a good head start. So I have another lantana that's going in on the other side over here. I'm kind of doing a little matchy-matchy on the sides, but that's okay, because what we're just trying to do is make this area just a little prettier and maybe a little artsy while we're at it. So down in goes this lantana. I'm doing the same thing I did over here. I'm just crumbling up the native soil, which is in pretty good shape, shockingly, out here in the grass. Really good shape. And then I'm gonna take this creeping Jenny, which we all know is awesome in the South, in the Mid-South.
This is my Jenny.
And I'm going to put it in a front spot so that it will climb over the rocks, much like we did with the other drain. But I'm putting it off center. You don't necessarily want it to be exact, like this one's a little more forward, this lantana, this one's a little back, and then this creeping Jenny, and here are the long pieces, is going kind of to the side. And I am trying to get a little bit in front of this rock so that when on the rare occasion it needs to be opened, I can open it and not disturb it too much. So let's give it a little test. Yes, that works. And so I just want to make it get in there a little nicer. Now, I'm going to go ahead, give it a little drink to start with, and see when it rains, it even makes that rock look more real, doesn't it? Love that. And then what I had the homeowners do was make a little circle for me around this rock, so that we cut back some of the grass, and I can then lay down what's called egg rock. And it's just bigger rock. And so I'm gonna put some of the egg rock up around here. I'm kind of helping to get that lantana settled in. I'm pushing it down into the dirt just to help it. I'm not gonna be this picky with the whole thing. I'm actually gonna do a little dumping here, but I wanna make sure that I don't squish the leaves here up at the top. And as soon as I have that all settled in, I will just dump rock over the base. And then to that, I'm going to add some of these bigger rocks. So I'm creating this rock foundation around the plants to help get it settled in. And, you know, if you have time to go through and find some of the bigger rocks, that helps. So we're using egg rock. thusly named because they are the shape and size of eggs.
Logical.
But they're not all the same size. I'm trying to get the bigger ones out here, get the plants really pushed down in here, get them comfortable, and then I'm just gonna take rock and put it in around the base. Just filling in so it looks a little more on purpose. Not like, oh, somebody threw some rocks down here. No, we wanna give it kind of an artsy look. And then if it works to put bigger rocks around it, we will. If it doesn't, it might just look kind of cool to have rocks. One of the issues for the homeowner was, how will we mow around this spot? So we're trying to create this barrier. He didn't want to destroy the lantana. The lantana is probably going to go a little wide. It might come out this way or this way, and you can always trim it back. Not that I like to do that, but I like to let it kind of go wild. But the homeowners can do whatever they want to once I leave, right?
I thought they'd never leave.
So I'm trying to give him a good circle around this so that he can see where to mow and where to weed eat. Now that we have the base down, and I'm still gonna fuss with it a little bit afterwards, I'm gonna see what happens when I try to add some bigger rocks. I've thought about, oh, look at, we just got out of that. That is awesome. I'm gonna do a little bit of a stand-up of a rock here. We do want the creeping Jenny to creep over some rock. So I'm gonna add some other smaller pieces for it to come up and over. Makes it more interesting, and it will, you can help it. You can train it to go up and over if you want it to. I'm gonna add some more of the smaller rocks around the lantana and give it a little bit of a moment here so you kind of see it more if there's something around it. And I'll have to look at this from the front, and this is the front. This is the part that is seen from the sun porch and the back of the house. So we're really just hiding the ugly for the homeowners or anybody that might come over and sit on the porch.
On the front porch with you.
So I don't have to use all of this. I might, there we go. I might not use this one. Let me just take a look here. Oh, it's kind of cool here. And then I could just go in with my egg rock and do a little more filling in where I see that there's a gap, and they will sink down into the soil as it rains. And I'm gonna make it rain here in a second.
Behold his mighty hand.
To show you how pretty it is when water hits these rocks. But if you have some left over in your bag, just hang on to them and add them in where you think it might need it. Looks like I did a better job of getting the circle right back here where I am versus the front where I'm not. But I will fill that in and make it as perfect as I can over time. And finally, we have our little friend Buddy and his fishing pole covering the septic tank lid. This is one of the first episodes we ever filmed, and we'll link it below for you to go watch it. But we took this kind of ugly lid here.
This problem is a constant problem because there's a sewer cat thing there, and it's ugly, and I don't know what to put there.
And I created a rock or a stone height for him to sit on to go fishing in his little pond. He came with these stones, which absorb the sunlight and then glow at night. Be sure to watch that episode for the full coverage of how we started out hiding the ugly right here with good old Buddy. Well, I hope I inspired you to get out there and hide your own ugly in your yard. All you need is a few plants and some rocks, and you're on your way.
Come on over. Now go make someone feel special today.